Hello there, folks. Time to get the next class started in our Final Fantasy Renaissance playthroughs here. So, uh, pop us into the game so we can immediately get going here. Uh, as we start now, our time mages. Now, as I was thinking, um, there's a few like time mages, like if you go off of like speed manipulation and stuff like that, not a lot. um and like actual time mages, Ash is put as a time mage in Revenant Wings. Technically have, if you go to Final Fantasy 13 2, Sarah and Noel, but there's not like time mage specific there. um like that's a different kind of thing, I guess, in a way. um let's think. Like 1, 2, and 3 really don't count. 4 doesn't count. Well, 4 can count, but I can't think of anyone there really. 5 doesn't count. 6, not really. Anyone in 7 technically could be. Yeah, there's not like specifics. I'd say I'd give Titus or Titus, because he starts with the kind of haste and sort of time manipulation stuff there. I guess we'll go with, since she's Ash, sort of has that in Revenant Wings. Yeah, screw it. We'll just keep with what I was really, so we'll end it with Sarah and Noel. I guess that'll do. It's the best I can think of. Alright. So, Egress rewinds time to start of the current battle. Rerolls current enemy formation as well as the chance for enemies, heroes to strike first. So nice. Gives that kind of rewind. Resist time. So resist time elemental spells as well as the effects of slow sleep and paralysis. And able to learn and use most time-based black magic spells. So it's gonna put. We still have to use. Starting with wooden, with just staffs. That's gonna suck. Alright. And then let's see, we get Lock. The Decay. Target foe loses 5 HP cumulative every turn. Okay, so just a slow dot of damage. 20 base time damage to one foe, and increases one ally's chance of taking action before foes each turn. Okay, so we definitely want everybody to have burst and decay, and I'll probably switch between lock and haste. But that means let's do this. Burst. Give the 3 of them burst. Select our slot here. That's right. Nope. If I don't actually save, it doesn't save it. Alright. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. Got the level up there as well. Alright. There we go. Probably Should have used the heal on Titus. Nice. You lucked out. And that means now we can get first on our last character. Go take down Garland. There we go. Now, yeah, let's rest at the inn, and then we'll go up to Matoya's cave and back, and hopefully in that process, we'll get enough money to buy decay on everyone. Oh, run, please. Should have egressed, but oh well. Excuse me. Yes. To Pravoka. Alright. So slow, status ailment, spell, reduces foe's number, yada yada. Time-based darkness on single foe. Applies 15 mark to all foes. All foes take damage equal to their current mark level. Subsequent melee attacks also trigger mark. Okay. Time elemental confuse on a single foe. Both of these are really good. Though the confused being single foe does kind of suck. Nothing there. And gloves. Alright. Hmm. Once we can afford to get Mark on everyone, I think we'll be in a good slot to really start grinding. No, I wasn't supposed to be fight. I was supposed to be first. Either way. Mark, burst, mark, burst, mark, burst, mark. There we go. That's why I was like, I know once we got Mark on everybody, we'd be good. I was hoping the Mark would go off first. I had enough. I could have actually bought. All right. Okay. 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 Lock. Haste. Lock. Haste. All right. Now. Only 2. I didn't feel like it was worth it to waste the marks. Finally. We don't have to worry about... We got the armor. There's no weapon. So... all that's left is getting... spells. Of which will probably give everybody muddle. And then... slow and dim will be between the two. Um. All right. My only worry, like, Pop is obviously in play, but I think currently Pop would kill us. Alright, let's see now. Probably the iron. Yep, iron staff. That's 200. That's 800. This should have. Yep. All right. Well, I can at least do. Might as well get everybody that. Let's see. So Lock 2 decreases all foes evade by 20. Demi. So cut HP in half. 60 type. So there's our. Yeah, and then Float. Party floats above ground and shallow water for a short period of time, avoiding enemy encounters as well as damage from trap tiles. That's sort of our how we can just ignore encounters for a while. Once we have level 3 spells. And then here we get fast. So that's, yeah, that one. Mark 2, so 30 mark, but only to a single foe. All foes that take damage equal to their current mark level. Subsequent melee attacks also trigger mark damage on that foe. So, same idea. Single target gets 30 mark, but triggers mark on everyone. Target foe loses 20% of current strength each turn. Ooh. And double spell effectivity for target allies next turn. This ability always activates at the end of the next round of combat. Okay. I think, wouldn't that be efficacy? Not effectivity? I could be wrong. But, either way... Like, these can definitely... Wait, we've got time on them. But it does mean... We have to be careful. Mainly with... this. Because I don't want to, I don't want to overly avoid combat. Now... let's make our way back up to Pravoka. Honestly, it's surprising. I thought a single burst would generally kill. Alright. We know 3 marks, no matter how many of these there are, 3 marks will kill them all. And we need 3,200 just to finish off, everything in this town. Are you freaking kidding me? And unfortunately, they're gonna die, so I don't get to egress this. Damn it. Well, outside of... Jeez. Nope, we kept the haste and lock being in the right kind of... Really? I also inadvertently, I didn't even think about it. No, probably should have had haste over Sarah, but I'm fine with that. Hold on. Of course, we get a single freaking one. That's fine, just means we mark the next 2 combats. Good night, Sahakins. Screw it. Just guarantee the end. Alright, now, like I said, everybody's got Mark. Considering how good Confusion has been, I kind of want everybody to have Muddle. Slow is not amazing, and Darkness is not exactly amazing, so... Vera gets slow, Null gets dim, Titus gets slow, Ash gets dim. Alright. Means we are done with Provoca's purchases, but we do need a lot more money. $4 grand for chain shirts on everyone. Another $6 grand for is it? No. Oh, it's a lot more than that. Because the level 3s are 1,500. So that's $6 grand per. So it's 18 grand. So, no, 24 grand. Alright, let's... That's not including items. Because we're gonna want, heals and stuff. Oh, Ash is behind a level. Let's get the last pirate. Or Yuzoku. Alright. Yeah, 15 each. So 45 per. Well, 6 times 3, so 18. Excuse me, yeah, because you can't get all 4. So 6 times 3 is 18,000. And then these 4 grand a piece. So it's 12 per 36. 36, 40, 54. A lot of money that goes into this town. And that's not including things like soft, being that this is one of the only places you can get that. So... time to decide think we want to do this long enough for 2 things. Because while I like float, float is not the first thing we buy. The third thing we buy everybody is burst 2. Demi is nice, but it's never gonna kill. Because it's half of their current HP, not their max. It'll do good damage early rounds. But as things get weaker, it's gonna do less and less. So Demi, not worth it. Lock 2. So this will be the 2 we spread. But that means burst 2 goes on everyone, float goes on everyone. And burst 2 is the one we need to save up for right now. So that's the one that's gonna let me then go and do pop. Similarly, this one's a hard call. Because Mark II is strong, but it is single foe, but it's strong. Because just like Mark is. Because it's solid damage. Though we're not going to be meleeing as much. But it's a constant... It's like Decay. If we hit Mark... If everybody casts Mark on him, the first one's going to hit and do 30 damage. The second one's going to hit and then he's going to take another 60. The third one's going to hit and then he's going to take another 90. And the fourth one's going to hit and he's going to take another 120. So it means in total... A target takes 300 damage one turn from that, and then the next turn, so we got to 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, and again, they're taking now to 150 and 240 is 360. Should also be no, it's 39. That's 210 plus 39 times 2 is 7,800 the second turn. That's like 2 turns of this mark will kill just about everything. Like, the only thing it's not killing, I think, is Chaos. And the third turn will do that. But we'll probably have better stuff for that. Fast is like... Honestly, Fast and Gain are the only 2 that may not be worth it. Because I don't need extra hit. And I don't know if the doubled effectivity... Like, this is nice because it's lowering their strength every turn, which means less damage every turn until they have no strength. Or are so low that they shouldn't be doing much of anything. Honestly, I can... Now that I think about it, I can probably skip Fast, because that, I think, is a standard black magic spell. So I already have that, so I could just do Mark, Gain, and Old on everyone, and skip Fast. Which might be the better option. It's just like, technically, Lock probably is skippable, but... Alright. $45 total damage. It's less than order 45. That's 90 total damage, and this will guarantee. Yeah. Thinking about the Peninsula of Power. We've got Frost Wolves. That would take all 4 doing Mark. They're not resistant or weak to, they're not weak or resistant to time. So couple of time burst 2 would also probably kill them. The other things we can see are giants. Probably take a full set of burst too, but like that series of marks just now would have been 100 there would have been 150 damage. Would have taken a couple more. Would have taken like a turn and a half worth of marks to get them. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. Yeah, those last 2 would probably be the finishing ones. Trolls at 184. Again, hopefully the bursts would do it. And yeah, I need burst 2. Once I've got burst 2 on everybody, we might be able to go over to pop and grind up. I think the difference would be the difference from any standard run is that I would I'd go to pop and like I might actually grind at pop for a while to get to about where I want to be for job advancement. And then that way like the way I see it is we grind at pop till we get job advancement level. So like 13, yeah, 12 or 13-ish, because that shouldn't take too long. Then, since we'll have the money, we get float and a few other things, we can float our happy ass down, pick up the crown, and leave. Use a house to go to refill our spells, beat Astos, and just kind of float our way around a bunch of encounters until, except for the main ones we need to do, or at least try to. And then get our advancement, and even just make hopefully even make Ice Cave trivial for everything. Like the whole thought is that yeah, we'll probably secrets break in making things trivial and just do some small sets of grinding for leveling up in like key spots where we know we can do it fast and just grind it out. It generally seems to be, I think, what the play is going to be for Time Mage. So right now, we need a little over 6 grand to get burst on everyone. I thought no, exit to title, not run out. Like, wait, why am I facing a shark? Because the nice thing is, if I'm doing that with burst at that, where I'm spending out on that, by the time I've hit that level, we'll have gained quite a few casts. Because, like, it's going to start with us probably going there, having everybody cast burst, too, and then running. Going there. The big thing will be dependent on how... Because we're going to tent up and everything. So we'd be buying a few tents, going there. Soft resetting. I think we start with soft resets for... Well, we'll see. We'll play around with how things go and see if we need to... how Burst 2 does for damage. That'll be the big key. We'll have to see how the spell is doing for damage. The biggest key is, yeah, even without like the major sequence breaking that we're gonna be able to do, we're still going to be skipping a lot of stuff that we really don't need to be doing. I don't know what visual clue float gives us on map. Here. Let's get some... That way that prep is out of the way. Because I don't want to forget about getting myself certain items and what have you. Oh, actually, here. We're here, but let's pause, take a break. We'll continue the Jizoku grind after we finish the ads. Just long enough to get Burst 2 on everybody. And then it's going to be the Pop grind, which will be a bit longer. But hopefully for enough money to get our level 3 stuff. And then very much just quickly grabbing all the free chests. But see you guys in just a little bit. All right, let's get back to the money grind. That's what the first thing is. The pop grind will be soon. Oh, you know, this... I'll wait until the next one. I need to go grab... I can feel a little bit of... like, indigestion, heartburn, whatever. So I need to go grab something. But we will do... this, because this will take a second while that happens. Oh. Well. Yeah, we're still high enough up that that won't be the easiest way to go about it. No, god damn it! I get into a flow, and then when it doesn't take one of the down inputs, I get screwed over. Alright, and that finishes it off. Nice, expensive round of combat, and there we go. That extra level for almost everybody, since Ash is just a little behind, is going to be huge. God, the later level spells are going to be where it really... once we really see the 5 through 8 stuff, I really am curious. The best part is, yeah, we can just kind of go until we feel like we can't, we're getting screwed, and then just float our way one way or the other. If we're careful about our level 3 slots. At least that's what the wording on Float makes it sound like. I should be clear about that. But the idea is here we're going to get enough to get Burst up, and then we'll start using Pop to level up. Until we have enough money to buy our level 3 and level 4 spells. So we're seriously going to be grinding. Because when you also include the, 4,800 just for the level 4 spells, and then another 12, so 60k. Right? Hold on. 4 characters at 400 is 16, or at 4,000 is 16,000. Times 3 spells each, that's 30, 48, yeah, 48,000 for that, plus 12,000 from, the from everything, but from the 2 level 3 spells we gotta buy for each of them. So that's 60, and then 4 for, so 64,000. We'll be at Pop until we've got 64k. With a little extra wiggle room afterwards for heals. And probably, and in the process, we'll also have bought, been keeping tabs up on Heal Pure and, Tents. The only difference is once we get to Pop, we don't have to keep resetting the game. We'll just tent and soft reset until it's encounters that we're comfortable with. So, either way, it's a long bit of manipulation to then get to a spot where the rest of the game becomes... God, would Flo let us skip the second Fiend fights? Because, yeah, if that's the case, it's going to be... Time Mage is, like, the one you could be the most ridiculous with. If you're willing to just put enough grind in. Like, you gotta put enough grind in to be able to actually take down, Chaos. And to be fair, I guess in the process of getting to, I also need, I just realized, because there's still that, so I also need the 800 for that. I don't think they have higher than average luck. Hence, so... have a save right here. Okay, okay. No, could you please muddle? All right. Okay. Um. There we go. 10 tenths, 20 pures, 30 heals. That should be good for what we want to try to stay at. We'd gained a few levels, but we still only have 2 casts of burst, too. Nice, that worked out. Yeah, no. Reroll. No. Rewind. Okay. That is amazing and horrifying to do. Okay. Yeah. We're not gonna get an egress out of that to save the one who downed. No. We're not dealing with Tyro. Alright. Second tent. And now we can run. That's fine. Okay. We don't need any heals or cures, so just 3 tents. You know what? Let's go up our survivability. That's 4 grand less that we have to worry about later. Hey, Silent. No. I think you just might have missed a couple. You missed a few then, Silent, because, yeah, we're all the way... We've been doing it daily, and we've gotten all the way to, Silent, or to, time now. I do have, there's a YouTube channel, and I have been putting the VODs from this up on there as well, if you wanted to see them. But yeah, this will be, I feel like Time Mage is going to be one of those sneakily fast ones, because we're going to probably be able to skip a lot of stuff, if things aren't going our way. And we'll just be having, like, little mini grind sessions at spots when we need to. Alright. Get in. Thank you. There we go. Alright, now that we're back here, we can pop in. So that way we are good on everything and back to pop. You know, we don't allow ambushes. Oh my god. No, what is with these rolls? Thank you. Oh yeah. This is for something like this. This is what the run is going to be. It's gonna be here until we've gotten the money we need for our level 3 and level 4 spells. So it's gonna be here for a while. I forgot to tent. Oh well, we should be fine. Do I risk one more? No, because we can get a 3rd level by going back now. No ambushes. Said no ambushes. You're right. Alright, we just grab a couple of tents to make up for the couple we used. Oh, damn it. Come on. Well, actually, let's try that again. Oh. Even with the chainmail shirts, they're not exactly buff and survivable, are they? That's still... We have enough for one more go around. I don't think I can guarantee a second. One plus, yeah, everybody leveled up, so. Oh. Why? I mean, we know that Egress can redo that ambush roll, but... This will finish him. Especially after that mark damage. Alright, 4 pures, 3 tenths. Or 4 pures, 4 heals. 3 tenths. That's our level 3 spells finished off, so let's go do that. Including the key one that's going to make the rest of this trivial. Okay, screw it. Why am I doing that? It's only going to take 2 marks to finish them. Alright. It's level 2, so hasten slow, lock and dim, hasten slow. So... Demi, lock, Demi, lock. Alright. Haste slow Demi, lock dim, lock 2, haste slow Demi, lock dim. Alright. And then when we work on this, it is just Mark 2 old and gain. I'm ignoring fast. We got our armor. Do not have, though. There we go. Everybody's got their iron staff. Everybody has their armor. I mean, level 9. Screw it. I don't feel like grinding a lot right now. We can get through this easy if we're willing to be dumb. Did he do both? He did do both of those attacks against. Alright. Pent. And now... magic. That did not last that long, huh? Alright, we can sell those off. That confirmed it's doable, it's just going to be annoying. And we don't... I don't think we have enough floats to get all the way down to the wizards and back up to... If we also want to check all the... If we want to also get some of the chests. Like, if we ignore the chests, I think we can do it, but it would be very tight. Might be best to just head down and save float for when we're like, okay, let's float, ignore the encounter, grab the crown, and leave. And the house. That might be the best way to do that. Also proves that, yeah, float to get around a majority of stuff is not going to happen. Yeah, but money's important. Money's how we buy our spells. So it's either going to be grinding for the money or picking it up from chests, but it would be very tight, I think, to go all the way down and back, and at least the 3,000, the house, since that's 3,000, I think is worth it to grab. Because then we can use the house when we get up, before going to do with the, Astos fight. Yeah, the teleportation thing is going to be huge. The silver bracelet is until after. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's after the key. So that would be a later run anyway. That's not on this go through. No, you. Yeah, Marsh Cave. We're early on enough. Whoop. It's like trying to run all the way down and all the way back up with float is going to be ever so tight on movement that I don't think we can do it. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna run down, still gonna ignore. Yeah, not New Game Plus, so. But it's also just in general. And since he says once you can promote, Zeph knew we weren't on New Game Plus. And we already have copper bracers on everyone. The only thing I'm thinking of grabbing is the house that's down there. We already grabbed the top because that was a free run. I feel like the odds of it being different are slim. I'm going to either egress on 3, run away on 1, because either the 1 will run away, or we'll egress and not get ambushed and everybody can run. The game is saying no. What the hell is with this backstrike luck? Yeah, no, I know that. That's why the plan is to kind of go down. It's just we know float doesn't last that long. So I don't want to try and float my whole way down because I might run out of spell slots too soon. Especially if I misstep. So we can just kind of use the heals and stuff that we have to get ourselves down and ready. Just want to grab that. And here we go. And float. By the way, Zeph, I don't know if you know, since it's the same thing as this, does float skip the secondary fiend fights. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure, and yeah, Silent, I wasn't sure if you knew either. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. Which makes this, yeah, this is gonna be the easiest run, save for whatever grinding I need to do just to get spells and levels to actually take down Chaos. And I had a feeling that was gonna be the case. And yeah, I was partially waiting because I wanted to float. My happy ass all the way up here. Now. Oh, shoot. There we go. Hopefully we're strong enough for this. Hmm. Oh, decay is ineffective. Oh, no, it just might not hit. Okay. Well, we got Confuse on him. And this will finish him off. There we go. Yeah, that's why I was waiting on the float. I wanted to float and not have to worry about any fights until I got to Astos. And I wasn't sure how many I was going to need for all of that. Now, same thing. Just float our way to the elves. Yeah, don't have anything to sell because we didn't grab anything. Just go ahead and use the inn. And we're back to I'm not worried about floating. Need to do some fights. And yeah, the only thing further down in Marsh Cave, since that's the only one that would be a struggle to do, would be the Silver Bracers if we wanted them. Just to make this run a little faster, let's float. So I don't have to worry about the water. Thank you. Same thing. Actually, you. Just because it speeds up the pace of it and have to, walk around the rivers, which is also why I know if I wanted to, as soon now that I will have the key, I could just go. I could skip Earth Cave entirely if I wanted to. I don't know if I want to do that skip though and get the class change first. It's the only thing I'm like, do I care to mess with that? Okay, yeah, nobody can do that, and they can't wield the hammer. Of course they can't. Same thing, not wieldable by anyone, and yeah, nothing. Let's get stuff up here as well. Don't want to deal with fights against gargoyles, so screw right off. I'm gonna say the rest of the fights don't matter if we even get them. I probably could have just, yeah. Oh well. Why waste magic on these guys? Yeah, everything but that gets sold, and yeah. Alright. Okay, so we've cleared out that stuff again. We've got enough time. Let's go to the dwarves next. I could soft my... Depending on how I did this, I could have accidentally... I'm gonna test something and then I realized I'd soft lock myself if I did that, if I wasn't careful with that. So let's not do that. We'll test it after we do the dwarf cave. Oh, is there really? I didn't even know. Is it a... Oh, yeah, there's do-over for using that. Yeah, there's the Bahamut. Master Summoner. Oh, yeah. Completed the bestiary, or bestiary, however you want to call it. Is it... Oh. Really? What class did we get that with? Because that wouldn't have been the one we just did. Yeah. That's the only one I can think of. Oh, yeah, I figured. Um... Let me just see... Is the drown one another, Oh, wait. Get a game over by drowning. See, my thought on that would have been, No, that's right, well, I guess if you can get around her, somehow. I thought that was if you somehow managed to get into the Undersea Shrine, without the Oxyale. Because I thought that was something you could technically do in the original game if you weren't careful. Which gave you just, like, a time limit for fighting, but that may be overthinking things. Would have been cool, though. I may also be confusing that game with another game. Or this game with another game in the series. No, not TMNT. I could swear there was a Final Fantasy, one, because there's been a few that have had underwater. Yes, Severin has the Emerald Weapon. I knew that one. And that may just be what I'm thinking of. I thought, one of the others had something where you could end up... Five is the other one. When you're going through, when you're going back to the, Tower of Welsh, I think is the one tower that gets, submerged. You have a time limit in there unless you get to the different chests that give you air bubbles. And you can drown there if you don't, do that. That was the one I was thinking of. Yeah. I knew there was a place you went that was a Final Fantasy underwater full dungeon where you could drown. I was just like, which one is it? I thought it was earlier, but I don't think 3... Like, 2 doesn't have any underwater, and 3's little underwater stuff, I believe, is just... It's just the submersion portion that's underwater. There's no you underwater thing. Alright, Magic. Yeah, see, that's what I was worried about. So I was worried that if I floated and like, oh, I can get to the dwarf thing closer by landing at one of these and then forgetting that no, since I blow up the canyon, I'd never be able to get back to the boat. And that would have been horrible. Okay, we need to take a break, so let me pause here to go ahead and run those ads again, so that way the pre-roll stuff doesn't happen. and we can continue on with the very broken run that is the Time Mage run. See you guys in a little bit. All right, we are back. Um, let's see. So we have the option now. So we know how to do it. We can either say fuck it and go get the airship and the tail now to advance, or we can do the normal route and go and do Earth Cave. I at least want to see before I decide. I am curious. Like, part of me wants the airship just to speed up certain things. I am curious. What is our spells here? So they do get warp. Not that, yeah, with teleport being a better option. Slow 2, eh. God, the level 5s. True. Warp does have a good use for, Ice Cave. If I had the level to cast it it would make the one thing about Ice Cave a lot easier to do, but I don't have the levels to cast it. The thing is, I don't care about slow or bind, honestly, so they're all probably going to end up getting it if I grind up the money for everything, which is sort of the only real probable thing we'd be doing at some point. And yeah, Demi... Sure, this one hits all foes, but again, Demi's always been one of those, to me, barely worth it, because you're never going to do... Like, you'll do significant damage round 1. But after that, and depending on turn order, it may not even end up because you're a waste if you have everybody cast Demi. So, the level 5s, just none of them come out other than the, like, using warp to to do the trick with Ice Cave to get through faster. But that would require me to grind somebody up, what, at least 2 more levels? Maybe 3 to get that 1 level 5 spell slot? I already have that. That would be the other money grind. Okay, not much. Like, right now in Melmond, other than, like I said, over time, making it worth it. I don't remember where I saved, and it couldn't have been at Elf, so let's not do that there. Alright, yeah, I figured nothing from you. And nothing from you. Well, it's our level 6 spells. There's teleport. So teleports the party to one of a select number of locations. Inflict doom on a single foe, killing the target instantly after 3 full turns. 10... And it's still only single target. Ugh. 1% of all damage dealt to target foe. Just 25% of all damage dealt to target foe from the previous turn. Okay, there's a nice combo of Demi into Echo. That would at least do something fun, I'm sure. But it still only does 25%. Well, I guess if you Demi plus other stuff. Yeah, even that, I guess, is going to depend on the kind of damage output we're doing, whether or not Echo's going to be worth it. Alright. Let's get a stupid achievement quick. There. I had to do it now that I know about it. It's hard not to. I think we could get through a decent amount of it. Yeah, well, screw it. I wasn't going to, but we'll sequence break. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's just like, when you know there's a stupid achievement, you have to go for it, whether you like it or not. Like, I didn't care about this, but I know in Lollipop Chainsaw, um there's that achievement for angling the camera to stare up her skirt for a little bit. And my brain is like, this is a shame pervert, a shame achievement for perverts. But it's an achievement for platinum. Well, platinum, I was on Xbox, but still, it's part of getting all the achievements, and my brain goes, it's meant to shame, but it's still an achievement, and now I know it exists, so I have to get it. Just to have it. To try to get the achievements. But it's meant... And I've done that. I've done so many of, like, 0-point achievements just because it's like, but it's there. It's an achievement. I know it's meant to shame, but it's an achievement. And it's easy. I know I could do it without struggling. Oh, I cast Burst and I shouldn't have. Do I have a... I have a house. Okay. Ooh, Ice Cave's gonna be annoying. I just thought about that. I don't know if I have... Well, actually, thinking about it, if Float works the way I want it to... I may not have to worry about Ice Cave as much, because if it avoids traps... Does Float avoid the pitfall? Or do you still drop? You see, I don't have enough to... Teleport's too much of a grind. Yeah, but again, I'll have to grind up a couple of levels for warp. Yeah, I know how warp works. I know... I used that with the Black Mage to cheat to get back there, and she's constantly fighting him when especially if I accidentally fell, because I was using the eye as a kill grind. But if Float goes over the pit tile, then I don't have to worry. I can just float over, grab Floater, and leave, and never have to actually deal with the bottom half of the dungeon. Though I guess dropping down after getting Float would be faster. It would depend. I'll have to see. I don't want to have to do that bottom half twice, if avoidable. That being said, we'll start... from here. We've done this enough. We know this order. Keep doing that. I can't... Drop. I forgot I grabbed stuff from different freaking dungeons. Okay, this is iron. And drop that. You know, just to pick up the chest, we'll drop that. There we go. There we go. Trial? What trial? This is so wrong. And then just because I do need the float to get to the boat. Alright, let's see. So... Kill all of them. Well, if we're gonna cheese and not pick up anything, I can sell out all the armor at least. Let's hold on to the weapons till I do that. Okay. God, that was fast. Do I not have enough to do what I want? Fuck it. I said I wasn't gonna do this, but I mean... There's no reason not to. Alright, we have a save outside, so this will be the test. Pretty good. Actually, this is where I get to find out just how lucky or how easy this makes it. Are you kidding? Perfect. That's what I wanted to see. And thankfully, I have another house. Right? Yes. That would have been really bad. Uh Oh wait, I have to stop floating. Okay. House. Eh. And here we go. Item floater. Yeah, no, we're safe here. There we go. But now, double cast. If target ally casts a spell in this round of combat, cast twice in a row for no additional cost. Started combat inflicts fatigue. Okay, so I can basically double off. That's okay. Halts the flow of time for everyone other than the caster, allowing the caster to take actions uninterrupted for the next 3 turns. Okay, I can see how that will definitely make chaos just that much easier. Just limit, boom, 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 limit, boom, 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 until, depending on how things go. Okay. And then, yeah, those are the same. And then... No, not in here. What is our new quest? They say an old-time wizard entered the Castle of Ordeals once, but never came out. Perhaps he teleported himself. Oh, okay, that's right. He used teleport in the castle to get to whatever strange one. Okay. So. We need a little bit of level grinding, but much more money grinding. To get ourselves very, very, spell broken. What of our level? Comet. Random non-elemental damage to one foe. Fast 2 increases target ally's current hit multiplier by 2. think that was a Black Mage spell. So stop, inflicts time elemental paralysis, time elemental KO, and then guaranteed target ally's current action will be performed at the start of the next round. Okay, so quick goes off, making somebody else also go first. Yeah. Like I said, it's less about... Right now, it's less about... Like, there's a bit of getting money for loot, obviously. But I do need to level. Because, you know... We only have up to level 4 spell slots. It's kind of... A lot of spells are pointless if we don't have spell slots to cast them. Obviously. Let's go in here. Yep, he just sells Cat Claw we can't use. Plus, I'm guessing if my intelligence is higher, float will last longer. So that's the other benefit to leveling. More casts of float and potentially, I would think them lasting longer. I could be wrong. Okay. So, yeah. I mean, more charges does still mean getting through certain dungeons safer. Yeah, we're gonna have to play around with all of that. No, let's see. Like I said, we have our level 1, level 2, and level 3 spells for everyone. Is it worth it? Can save a little bit of money and get the silver. Well, even the silver isn't really worth it. I can get the opal real quick. Get the opal chain. God, yeah. Just realizing now how much Time Mage and the ability to just say screw it and skip stuff once you know where things are, it makes it very similar to like a randomized run where it's just like, oh, what do I go get now? The only benefit, like, God, when he's ready to do randomized runs for this, they said some of the stuff that are usually options, I can't wait to see. Like, just imagining doing Black Mage, White Mage, Time Mage, Green Mage, and coming in here and having like Teleport as a level 1 spell for Time Mage. Oh, but you would have to be careful with Time Mage and Black Mage, making sure like that would be a little bit more work of like the spells that cross between them, making sure that the game registered that for both classes and didn't try to put like trying to think of something off like Stop or Zap. Didn't want to put Zap at level 1 for Black Mage and level 4 for Time Mage. Or you could separate it, but then that's gonna be watching a lot more. Like you would have to keep them together. It would depend on how that's, I guess, one of the reasons for waiting until he's got all the classes in before doing the randomize. Still be fun and interesting just to see what would happen. Especially because it's like, well, the game's already going to be in a broken order, but if you could get float, you might not get float until, like, level 7. So, like, the float cheesing wouldn't be doable, which also would mean you would have to fight every dungeon still. Or you can get float level 1, and it makes running through everything just that much easier. Oh, I hope he figures out and gets, like, I know, Roland, you're working as a tester with him. I hope he gets, I don't know how many classes he's got left, but I hope he gets enough and figures out and gets through them fast enough to start working on the randomized logic. Because there's a lot of, like, different flags you can turn on that would be interesting to play around with. 30? Oof. Well, 30's not bad. And 30 would probably, if 30's where he wants to stop it, that would not be a bad place to stop. Yeah, so that's still like 5 years out, though. And even then, you'd say 2 a year, but he announced, well, it was more than a year from when he announced, Samurai and Machinist, wasn't it? Alright, let's rest the inn just to heal up. Okay, I wasn't sure. Because I remember he announced and did the survey for what the next ones were. For what the next ones could be. But I thought it was more than a year. Alright, we've got enough to buy our level 4 spells, so I guess let's do that. And yeah, for achievement purposes, even though the achievements aren't too much, I am trying to differentiate to try to help get the rest of that. So, yeah, let's see. I'm just going to ignore fast. We'll get Mark. We'll do Mark, Old, and King, I think in that order on everyone. I don't remember if I don't think I didn't skip anyone. Yeah, I haven't looked at the Discord in a while to see on that side of things what's there. Like, Chemist isn't obvious, and like there's enough there that Chemist makes sense as a class to be working on. I mean, just try to think. If he's wanting to do, like, Mime would be interesting. I just think Mime is definitely one of those you can't do. I don't like doing a solo run or an all 4 run for Mime. I don't know if that would be doable if it's a possibility. Necromancer and Gambler would be interesting. Alright, we do get to skip and get... Actually, let's go ahead and, let's do this quick. Obviously I don't have, actually, you know, I was curious, because technically you shouldn't be able to get to him without having it. Got it! So I don't have to worry about, the ruby at all now. Okay. Yeah, because the ruby was just for getting past the Titan. Or, yeah, whatever he was called there. Alright. So... I don't really want to worry about that. I do need to get... So... Gotta build up some levels. With teleport, warp is gonna be basically useless, isn't it? But I hate, like, Demi, too. Like, none of these are especially amazing. But I do need to work on getting those. You know, we have enough that we can skip a few things still. Let's get our other semi-free money. I mean, it is and it isn't. Because, yeah, it's a guaranteed half of their current health, but especially depending on what I'm doing with everyone, it's gonna get worse and worse with every kind of damage that the enemy takes. So, like, I wouldn't want everybody to cast Demi or Demi 2, because then it's going to be just that marginal decrease. I'd like, you know, to try to get somebody else in there doing more, but then again, if the order ends up poor for me and the Demi goes off later, again, it's not doing as much. Well, my thought, the only reason my thought for Demi would be interesting, would depend on what if Gain does anything to it as well. Because if I can double cast Gain, yeah, see, that would have been interesting. I mean, I can still have double cast Demi, double cast Old, but that still doesn't mean I need everybody to have Demi. I can play around with the Demis on who, and give like 2 people Demi, 2 people something else on that one. And, like, double cast old probably wouldn't be bad either. Again, though, dependent on if that stacks. Double cast Mark II also would be good. But, like, Gain is the one that I'm like, it is so... Weirdly, it's one of those things like, okay, double the efficacy. Some things that's obvious, some I don't know. Yeah, I figured Decay would definitely work. You could just keep that on them. Because you just get to a point where that's chewing through their HP. That's why I also like Mark. Alright, we got those. Do I have enough? I don't even have enough money to buy the bottle to go down. Crap. Okay. Really? It doesn't, like... I would at least think that anything that had a... like, an actual number personification. Like, this I can understand. You don't want Gain doubling the effectiveness of. But, like... And same thing with old. Going, you know, that's like, okay, that's a little weird. But I would think it would work with Mark. Just double the marks that you apply. Yeah, that's... I mean, it's worth testing. It'll definitely be something I'll test at some point. Because you'd think Gain Mark, all of a sudden now you're getting 30 Mark on everybody. Or Gain Mark 2, 60 Mark on a single person. That would be useful. God, I'm just like... Knowing that I'm only level 9, I'm like, I don't know what I want to do, because I know I'm not safe in a lot of places. I was gonna say, Pop is gonna probably be a nice safe place to grind a little bit here. And now that I have the airship, it's easier to just kind of park here and do this. Wait, the limit goes off at the end. You know what, screw it. Why... I can literally just, until they're, like, getting through safely, do this. Yeah, because it activates at the end of the combat, so we gotta survive a round of combat, heal up, and go. It's just as easy to have everybody burst and run through just the one round of combat. If the limit happened at the beginning of the round, that would be different, but I feel like it's going to be easier to burst. And if we take enough damage, just come over here and heal. Technically, it'll be faster. Yeah, 2 double cast, 2 burst would work. That way they can switch off. And until they've got the health that they're not taking that kind of a beating, or I get the money and I can buy up all the stuff I need. Or get to the places I need to buy out the stuff. This is the cheapest healing. Little bit more time consuming, but time isn't the issue right now. And now somebody's hurt enough. Let's sell those two. All right. Oh. Ooh. That almost was a problem. The other nice side to doing it this way is once one of them gets off, because the double cast will happen the way it does, it means I'm guaranteeing 2 casts without an interruption, which also helps speed things up a little bit. How many? We still only have 3 casts afloat each. So... yeah, we did a bunch of running around. Might as well get this taken care of. I do love that he left that glitch in. Makes the oasis so much nicer. Alright, there's Oxyale. That gives us... Opal. Alright, so we got the gold. We can get... now we can go ahead and do... this run. So haste 2 and undo. Reverses time flow, restoring one ally's spell charges. Is that an in-combat only thing? Or does that refill, which means that when we get to this point, I can technically just keep people permanently full -1 level 7? Like, that is... I don't... yeah. Yeah, if it's in combat only, and it's basically you can use that to get back a charge or two in combat, I mean, interesting, but not like... oh my god. If it's out of combat, and it does just refill charges on somebody, then yeah, I could just have, like, 2 of them. It's like, I cast on you, and you cast on me, and then same thing for the other 2, and they're always down 1 level 7, but they're always full otherwise. And that will make so much more stuff just, like, I don't have to worry about it anymore. Levels of easy. One charge per... okay. So if it's only... yeah. If it's like... so then it's like Ether in the Pixel remasters. When you take 1 Ether, it restores 1 level to one charge per level. Which obviously it doesn't charge itself, but that's still... yeah, it's still a net gain for everything but the level 7s. You could still... you'd have to do it more. But it still ends up then... one person... so, since you can't cast it on yourself, you would just do a lot more casts, but you'd have to go back and forth on them. Well, you don't have to. For the ease of use, you go back and forth. But since it'll charge everything... I cast on somebody else, they get 1 of everything, including their level 7. They then charge on that, they get 1 of everything, and you bounce back and forth until they're full of everything but 1 level 7 each. Yeah, that's exactly silent. Yeah. That would be... if it's out of combat, that's still very good. Because, yes, that then means... everything kind of simplifies um on the spell slots once you've got the spell slots for everything. Um because you can burn a bunch of stuff and then undo yourself back to full and then burn a bunch of stuff again, so you really don't have to worry. That really puts time mages as amazing as one of your choices in a all mage run. We'll have to test that. We'll have to get up there and test that. But it is 10 o'clock. We're gonna take a break. This will be our final break here for ads, because I'm gonna stop at 11, because I feel, outside of maybe doing some grinding in the morning just to get some levels, Time Mage is obviously going to be very, very like quick. It's just the level stuff that's going to be the long part to get them to able to use all their different spell levels. So we'll run around still on some of the stuff, grabbing things here, and do a little bit of grinding in this last hour, and then kind of prepare tomorrow for all four fiends and a bunch of other stuff uh that we got to get done. But give me a few minutes for those commercials. Okay, I am back. I also, while I was gone, I thought I know time mages are done and they've got what they've got, but my brain went. It would have been interesting. I obviously we still got their one talent to get, so I have to get to teleport and get that talent. But it would have been interesting if time mages got a talent that allowed them to go to -1 in all of their spell slots. So like you always had one level available to cast, even for the higher level stuff. Well, maybe not for the higher level stuff. Well, actually, I guess this would give you one casting of stuff that you can't cast until you got to a level where you could. But the idea would be you would you can cast to -1, but when the next time you rested at an inn or used a house to refill, you were shorted that one. So it's like, oh, you've got 6 spell slots. Well, you end up with the rest with only 5 because you only fills you that max of 6. Would have been interesting, at least. But would have been a bit of a logistical nightmare to program. Wait, did I not? I thought I rested at the end. I guess I didn't. Alright, 32 steps each. We're saved here. Let's give this a try. Shall we? If we can get all the way back out, at least. Even if I can't get all the way down, I can... Well, no, I can't rest at an inn. Or rest at a house until I'm done floating. This might be close. Yeah, I needed to get all the way here without... Uh... Shoot, no, I didn't want to go there. Whew. That's that, plus we gained some level back. Or some money back. Okay. Let's head back here. Sell off the cap, gloves, and all of this stuff. All right. Oh. Well, no, we don't need to necessarily rest there yet. Let's also get the slab. That way we'll be at the spot where it's just whatever leveling we do, we just got to go through each of the 4 fiends. We don't have to actually worry about anything else after that. So, we'll float back here. Down we go. Satin would be pointless. Don't care about the opal armor. Don't care about the $20. Don't care about light, but I do care about you. And you. All right. Gets us that. All right. So we can sell off all of those. And did I accidentally sell the Zeus? I may have sold the Zeus without thinking about it. Easy way to check and see. That just means we go... Yep. God damn, it's another 15 grand of money I gotta waste to get that back if I want it. I can sell that because everybody's got at least that. Nobody can wear that. Nobody can wear that. And nobody can wear that. And then... Right, nobody can wield the... Yeah. I'm gonna say nobody can wield the Agent Dagger. Alright, 100k. Fortunately, that's spells. That'll get burned up real fast. Ugh. I don't know if I'm gonna worry about the Zeus. That's gonna be a later worry, if at all. Let's get our level 5s, because that'll burn up basically the whole shot of cash. I already have the rod. So, I don't have to worry. I already did that. God, I still don't know. Because warp to get out is nice, but teleport's gonna be better. We already know about teleport. Slow is worthless. Technically, I guess I don't need to buy slow. I'm probably never gonna use anything but warp and maybe demi. I guess we'll do... Demi, again, it's got its uses, especially if you, like, do what we were doing with Burst on some enemies, where you double cast Demi for, like, later enemies. It can have its uses, but it's, yeah, it's gonna vary. Everybody's got Demi. Alright. Level 5 spells on everybody without the ability to really use any of them, but that's fine. Heal. The dungeons will be mostly straightforward at this point. Got everything here. Good there, we got those, we got those. Should have gotten these, because yeah, I saw power. So yeah. I mean, outside of maybe running through places just to clear up items, just to get more money and simple. Because what we've got, fire, confuse, and heal on auto. Screw it. Let's open up the... Showed how close people were to leveling. Damn. That's iron armor we don't need. Let's whoop. The silver. Not that it matters, because we can buy gold that we sell. That I don't think sold for enough to be worth it. All right. Time to run a test. Does affect Mark. That's good to know. Oh. Like I said, there's a small part of me that figured gain would affect Mark, but didn't know for sure. Might as well test it. Alright, huh. Dagger and the copper armlet, so let's... Or copper chain, excuse me. Yeah. So... Since warp or float wouldn't let me drop, I would still have to kill time to drop down. But for money purposes... Oh, I forgot to rest. Let's go get some easy money. We'll do one more casting up here. Let me grab all of those. Like I said, easy money. I still love that we've done all this and we still haven't beaten the Earth, or the Lich, allowing us to get the canoe. There we go. Alright, yep, that is worthless. So we get to sell all the weapons. And all that armor. Okay. Back up to 100K. The problem is the biggest good expense would be to buy the gold chain on everyone. And I still do need to grind up more levels. We got the slab. Let's go take care of that quick now that I'm thinking about it. Because we came here, but we never did that. So that we can go and take care of this quick. Because it's not too different doing this way as going to pop. But, alright. We'll eventually have to come back here when we're stronger to probably get... What is our level 8 spell that's sitting for us here? Meteor! Random non-elemental damage to a random foe up to 4 times. Yeah, that'd probably make Chaos ridiculous, depending on damage rolls. Alright, skill, double cast, burst, skill. There we go. So we have all our key items now, right? We have the loot for when we get into the one cave. We got Oxyale, which we already knew we had. Chime, Cube, Rod. We are good to go with all the fiends. That way, everybody is decent on absorb. Like, the only other thing would be to get them, when we eventually get them all, those. Alright. Think that means we'll spend the last half hour just grinding. So, since it's gonna be mindless grinding, I don't know what to talk about, so I'll leave that up to you guys. What do you want to talk about? Like, at this point, I think we're at a slot of, well, just grinding a few levels to get ready and just making our way down each of the dungeons. The Earth Cave probably be... Well, Earth and Fire Cave being the longest ones. Heck, even... Well, Kraken's gonna be the shortest. I guess would be the best way to put it. Everyone else is gonna be annoying on length. That's why I kind of want to get teleport, because then I can I do want to get to teleport on everyone, I think. Because that way we can really just get all of our stuff easy one go. Yeah, everybody's level 12. Oh. In general, it'll make things a little easier. So... Especially because, yeah, now that I think about it, once I've got teleport, every dungeon just becomes float through everything until we can't anymore, teleport out, heal up, go back in, wash, rinse, repeat until we've gotten everything. So, yeah. We're getting ready for tomorrow afternoon being our easy mode run through killing all the fiends. Well, easy mode getting to the fiends. I don't know about killing them. And at least chaos is going to be just, again, we don't have to worry about any fight but chaos. So should be double cast on him for that. All right. Yes, since we'll be doing the little bit of grind to get there. No. So these are 20k each. We get teleport on everybody. Thinking teleport on everybody, decay on everybody, to Doom, to Echo. Just because these are all unique to Time Mage. But 20k a pop there, that's 8, 16, that's 60k per person, times 4 is 240k for the level 6s. Mind you, we're gonna grab stuff and sell for this. 45k per, so 135 times 4 for that. I'm not doing that math in my head right now. Well, no, 270 doubled 540. And that's 60k each. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of money we gotta do for those spells. Okay, we healed up, so. I'm gonna do one other stupid test right now. Actually, we'll do it on him. Okay. Said ineffective, that's what I needed to know. I figured it would be, but might as well make sure that you couldn't, like, double stack the double casts on one person. All right. So this will be the last bit for tonight. We'll do this. When I get up in the morning, before stream, I may do this just a little bit longer for the extra levels. Because again, it's gonna take a while, and then what we'll do is tomorrow we'll be really just working on clearing all the dungeons. I'm gonna make sure, I think, we have what we need to teleport out. And then, yeah, we'll decide how we want to deal with fights in dungeons and what have you. Like, the Earth Cave may be one of those we'll just do. Like, I may not... I'm in the 50-50 state of maybe not even grind. Maybe just buy... Well, grind a little to get the access to level 6 spells for teleport. And then just go and do Earth Cave normal. Save for the fact that we'll teleport out based off of inventory needs. It's like we get to a chest that says you can't pick it up, then we just teleport out, sell what we've got, then go back in after healing. Oh, well... I didn't think about achievements. Maybe we will. I still want to get teleport before we do any of them. I don't know what order we'll do them in. I guess we'll leave it at, we'll say that. We'll decide the order tomorrow. I just want to make sure I've got teleport before I do anything. Which is the only reason I'll probably do a little level grinding in the morning, because if we're at level 2 spells here, another level, at least 1, maybe 2 levels to get the level 3, and then once we hit that, it's another level for, so, what is it, 15 or, well, we have to hit 15 or 16 before we have the level 6 slots to teleport. And then, yeah, maybe we'll do... I don't know what order I want to do them in. You know what? Here's what I'll do. I will grab a... Actually, do I have... Let me check something. Let me check Stream Elements quick, because it'd be better to do it there, since I have the chat bot. Give me chat commands. Wait, do they not have a built-in, like... die roll thing? And does Twitch not have one either? Like, ooh. Like, I know there's raffle. Yeah, there's that stuff. Huh. Let's. Is there even? Sorry, I'm looking at this because I want to. I'm not seeing a way to do die rolls in freaking chat. Really? No random number generator? Oh, that sucks. I wanted to do a random die roll, for which, at that point, for which fiend we would do. I'll look into that in the morning, I guess, along with the other things for, like, how to do that. We'll randomize in some way, that I know you guys will be able to see as well. Even if I have to just pull up Google, bring the screen over, and do the die roll on there. Or I guess, you know, if I can't think of any other way to be like, oh, or any other way of doing it. But yeah, we'll randomize which fiend we do first. If I get Lich, I get Lich, but we'll randomize the fiend. Two more rounds of combat here before we gotta go heal again. I just don't want to deal with Tyro. It might have been worth it, but... Alright. Yeah, we're good on all of that. I already have a decent amount of money. Alright. So yeah, we'll call it there for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon. Like I said, I don't expect it might take most of it, but we've got a 5-hour stream in the afternoon. If we somehow go over that, I will be surprised. Especially if I get a little bit of grinding done in a couple hours in the morning first. Just to get a few extra levels. We can run through pretty much everything and just hope that it'll depend on the fiend fights really for how bad anything will be for actually beating it, but I don't expect to have any issues, especially when you add the limits too. You know, we can actually that would be if you're still here, Roland, because this will help me see just how easy this is. If all 4 of them limit, does it only give it to one of them and waste the other 3? Cool. So I can go to a fiend fight, limit with our 4, and it might be in turn, but it'll be like, okay, you get your 3, finish that. You get your 3, finish that, and guarantee by the end of it. Well, we'll see. That'll be something to test on whatever the first fiend is. But that guarantees as long as we survive the first round, that's 12 rounds of whatever random damage before he could do anything else. Well, technically 3 rounds, but that's 12 attacks that he has to survive. So that each fiend has to survive. That should take care of anything and chaos at this point. But we'll see. That will be tomorrow. Kind of just all of the running around collecting and doing that. So as always, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later.